present in this room this evening. Although we are expecting more people, we're not going to wait because we always keep to time. As X-Men, we need to emulate our principal, and we want his legacy to continue, because whilst we were in school, we are advised to work towards ensuring we are on time at any time. I would like to welcome everyone, most especially those who are not part of us. Although as you are here today, we see you as part of our family, because we have a big family as a Mayflower and ex-May. I'd like to quickly tell you a story. Exactly 30 years ago, I was on holiday in Southern California. After arriving at LAX, we drove down to San Bernardino County. Whilst there, we decided to go. My ex then said, "Oh, there are a few friends around. Let's just quickly go and see them." I thought maybe like Lagos or in the UK, where you just travel, you take the underground within 10 to 15 minutes. Within 10 to 15 minutes, you'll be at your destination. So we were on the freeway. 1 hour, 2, 3. When it was getting late, we stayed at a motel overnight. The following morning again, we were on the way. And I was like, okay, this is a wacky holiday. We ended up in Texas. Upon arrival, our friend says, "Oh, there is a party, guys, let's go." As soon as I walked into the room, guess what? I met 3 of my classmates. It shows you the extent of the work and the orientation that we were given in school. And it inspires a lot of us. And we've got a lot of it embedded in us and is deep rooted. We thank you all. I'm not going to take too much of your time, because I know if I carried on, I might continue throughout the day. Once again, you are all welcome, and thank you very much. Please feel at home. Thank you.
Girl, wobble it, and I'm a gobble. I say you know when your head to head gobble. You can bring the man, I'm straight ragged, and the girl say, "Man, like me, my girl, like shit." Damn, I'm so upset, but I can't help my brother ridiculous. Boy, gotta give like it gotta be Christmas. Swag on this like it gotta be gifted. The girl on the tablets, and they want pictures, and they don't frame up. You see that? Bells in the bed while I'm saying my scriptures, cause I think you only like to pray in the temple. I'm living the letter of pencil. I might go miss you, good night kiss you. Take your damn back, cause you got history. And all that, now they think are all these issues. Baby, walk, baby, walk, baby, walk. Baby, walk, baby, walk, baby, walk. Baby, walk, baby, walk, baby, walk. Baby, walk, baby, walk, baby, walk.
Earlier on today, I visited a local farmer about 3 miles from where I live. He could not have been more than 55, but he said he was already too old to farm vigorously. He still suffered, he said, from the physical energy he displayed as a farmer in his younger days. Around his hut were 2 pepper bushes. There were cocoa yams growing around him. There were snail shells which had given him meat. There must have been more around the banana trees I saw. He hardly ever went to town to buy things. He was self-sufficient. The car or the bus, the television or the telephone, the newspaper, Vietnam or Red China were nothing to him. He had no ambitions whatsoever, he told me. I'm not sure if you're already envious of him, but were we all to revert to such a life, we would be practically driven back to cave dwelling. On the other hand, Try to put yourself into the position of the Russian or the American astronaut. Any moment now the count, 3, 2, 1 is going to go, and you're going to be shot into the atmosphere, and soon you will be whirling around our Earth at the speed of 6 miles per second. If you get so fired into the atmosphere and you forget what to do to ensure return to Earth, one of the things that might happen to you is that you could become forever satellite going around the Earth until you die of starvation, and even then, your body will continue the gyration. When therefore you are being dressed up and padded to be shot into the sky, you know only too well that you are going on the roughest road man had ever trodden. The Americans and Russians who have gone were armed with the great belief that they would come back. But I cannot believe that they did not have some slight foreboding on the contingency of their non-return. It is their courage for going despite these apprehensions that makes the world hail them so loudly today. The big fish is never caught in shallow waters. You must go into the open sea for it. The biggest businessmen make decisions with lightning speed and carry them out with equal celerity. They do not dare delay or dally. Time would pass them by if they did. The biggest successes are preceded by the greatest of heartburnings. You should read the stories of the bomber pilots of World War II. The Russian pilot, the German pilot, the American or the British pilot suffered the same physical and mental tension the night before a raid on enemy territory. There were no alternative routes for those who most genuinely believed in victory for their side. You cannot make omelets without breaking eggs. Throughout the world, there is no pain without pain. Jawaharlal Nehru has put it so well. I am paraphrasing him. He wants to meet his troubles in a frontal attack. He wants to see himself tossed into the aperture between the two horns of the bull. Being there, he determines he is going to win. Therefore, such a fight requires all his faculties. When my sisters and I were young and we slept on our small mats around our mother, she always woke up at 6 a.m. for morning prayers. She always said prayers on our behalf, but always ended with something like this: may we not enter any dangers or get into any difficulties this day. It took me almost 30 years to dislodge the cankerworm in our mother's sentiments. I found by hard experience that all that is noble and laudable was to be achieved only through difficulties and trials and tears and dangers. There are no other roads. If I was born into a royal family and should one day become a constitutional king, I am inclined to think I should go crazy. How could I, from day to day, go on smiling and nodding approval of someone else's successes for an entire lifetime? When Edward VIII, now Duke of Windsor, was a young, sprightly Prince of Wales, he went to Canada and shook so many hands that his right arm nearly got pulled out of its socket. It went into a sling and he shook hands thenceforth with his left hand. It would appear he was trying his utmost to make a serious job out of downright syncretism. Life, if it is going to be abundant, must have plenty of hills and vales. It must have plenty of sunshine and rough weather. It must be rich in obfuscation and perspicacity. It must be packed with the days of danger and of apprehension. When I walk into the drive, the certainly cool morning air of every January 1st, I wish myself plenty of tears and of laughter, plenty of happiness and unhappiness, plenty of failures and successes, plenty of abuse and praise. It is impossible to win ultimately without a rich measure of intermixture in such a menu. Life would be worthless without the lot. We do not achieve much in this country because we are all so scared of taking risks. We all want the smooth and well-paved roads, while the reason the Americans and others succeeded so well is that they took such great risks. If therefore you are out in this new year 1964 to win any target you have set for yourself, please accept my prayers and your elixir. May your road be rough.
don't know who I am, but I am more than happy to introduce myself. I can just project if I need to. My name is Mandisa Thomas, and I am a native of New York City, but I have lived in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 26 years. I am the founder and president of an organization called Black Non-Believers, which is headquartered here in the Atlanta area. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for welcoming me, as well as my colleagues and friends, to join you in this celebration. I am up here tonight in my role as a humanist celebrant, and I appreciate Dr. Gege Odion for reaching out to me to partake in this celebration of Dr. Ty Salarin. It is through my work, through my organization, that I had first heard of him, and it is an honor to have become reacquainted as well as meet his former students. In acknowledging his perspective as a humanist, that may not have been something that he pushed on his students. However, clearly it has been shown in his work and his activism and his emphasis in education and making sure that there were others who work towards a better future. So with that, I'd like to give a few definitions of humanism in case you aren't familiar. The American Humanist Association defines it as a progressive philosophy of life that, without theism or other supernatural beliefs, affirmed our ability and responsibility to lead ethical lives of personal fulfillment that aspire to the greater good. Humanist International defines it as a democratic and ethical life stance which affirms that human beings have the right and responsibility to give meaning and shape to their own lives. It stands for the building of a more humane society through an ethics based on human and other natural values in a spirit of reason and free inquiry through human capabilities. It is not theistic, and it does not accept supernatural views of reality. In my research on Dr. Salarin, we realized that across the diaspora, from the United States to Nigeria to Ghana to wherever African descendants are around the world, many of us have been the victims. Our ancestors and their descendants have been the victims of colonialization throughout the world. And that also includes the indoctrination that was imposed upon our ancestors and that has trickled down to many of us. And I have the utmost respect for Dr. Salarin for pushing back and breaking barriers and being unapologetic with his position at a time when it was not only unheard of, but was also dangerous to do so. And the fact that he applied his perspective and his ability to see beyond what he was taught, to realize that the world was bigger and that he had a responsibility in this, even when it meant that he got in trouble for it. It is something that future generations should continue to emulate. And so again, I am very, very proud to have become acquainted with him through my work in this community and also through all of you. I see that the motto of his school, and his motto is knowledge is light, because it is true. When we learn more and we learn better, then we do better. We expand our minds, we can expand our horizons, and that also passes down to future generations. Times have changed, and it can be to our detriment if we don't continue to follow the examples of people like Dr. Salarin, who realized that he needed to clearly start this school to make sure that each and every one of you had a better foundation than what he had and also the others had. And I know that many of us can relate to in being in underdeveloped and economically disadvantaged communities, that this can be a challenge for many of us. And it really, really does bring me an honor to help more people on this side of the world become more familiar with him as well. Yes, knowledge is indeed light. Because the more we know, the more we learn, and the more we know, the more we all grow and we can all grow together. And it is interesting to see, it is great to see the impact that he has had on his students and also other Nigerians throughout the world. There is an organization called the Association of Black Humanists that is based in London, England. And every August, they do a tribute they do a Ty Salarin Day tribute. And it was an honor to, again, have informed Dr. Odion that they do this tribute. Because it really does show the impact that he has had, again, on Nigerians and Africans throughout the world. And being a representative of the diaspora in the United States, I have now made it my duty to make sure that more humanists and even those throughout the Black community know who he is and celebrate his work and celebrate his legacy along with each and every one of you. So to that, I like to keep things going because I know that this is a celebration. And in doing this, let's keep that light shining. Let's keep that light of knowledge, that light of education, that light of love, that light of solidarity, that light of community going. And let's continue to honor him through our work, through reunions like this. It is important. I think it is so amazing that y'all have continued to engage and connect with each other over the years, because again, this is powerful. This is absolutely powerful, and I am very, very honored to be a part of this. And having grown up with learning, with an Afrocentric background and learning about the rich history and culture that has come from the continent, especially at a time throughout history when it was overshadowed. It is still being overshadowed over here, and we have the opportunity to turn that around, to continue to educate and inform, and do so in a way that is celebratory of our accomplishments and of our ancestors so that we can keep this legacy going. Thank you all very much for allowing me to be here. Thank you for continuing to engage each other in the spirit of love and community and respect for each other. Thank you.
It's actually the Exceptional Person Award. This is Dr. Taishan, and I'm honored to accept it on his behalf. I have a few remarks I need to make, if you guys will please be patient. Yes, I am honored to accept the Exceptional Person Award on behalf of Dr. Taishan today. And it holds great meaning as it is occurring on our first reunion as ex-mates of class 1977. Dr. Chai Shulari was an exceptional person and he taught many lives, including mine. And I'm sure yours too, through his many deeds and words at Mayflower School. Mandisa, thank you for your kind words, your kind tribute to Dr. Chai Shulari. Fellow exceptional ex-mates, 52 years ago, most of us here today and many more elsewhere began a life-changing journey at Mayflower School. In those early years at Mayflower, we experienced so much together: joy, excitement, anxiety, fear, exhaustion, disappointment, and many other human emotions. We played together, sang together, ate together, ran the marathon together, as we did this morning in Tokuma. I'm sure you agree with me. Exercised every morning together, camped together, swam in the river together. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Studied together, and yes, we worked together as well. Whether it was with the morning drill, or library reading, or evening studies, or weekly entertainment, we did it together. And strangely too, even without TV, radio, and yes, cell phone, Facebook, or social media, we were always occupied and there was no boredom. I often wonder actually how Sister was able to make it through all those times. You guys know how much. Those were the best of experiences and exceptional times. But then, through it all, we got to experience an exceptional human being we fondly and carefully call God. So far in my life, I have experienced 6 stages of academic pursuit, from primary education through secondary school advanced studies, and 3 university or college studies. But without a shadow of doubt, my education at Mayflower between 1973 and 1977 was the most impactful of all. The difference was Dr. Taishulari, who by his deeds and teaching inspired in me and instilled in me the courage and the characters to seek the highest goal for myself and the best for my fellow human beings. I really cherish those teachings. Those experiences continue to infuse my actions and my goals to this very day. His famous words, and you guys will, agree with me, were, "You are the captain of your soul, the master of your fate. We measure life by loss, not by gain, not by the wine drum, but by the wine poured for. And when this opportunity comes, we want to grab it right away." Okay? And then he always said, "No man is indispensable." So you guys agree. So those are cherished principles, guiding truths that I apply in my daily life up to this day. I'm sure each one of you here have their own fond memories of, Gatai Shulari's principles. It is almost impossible for any ex-mate that crossed paths with God at Mayflower School not to have been impacted in some way by his teachings and his action. So I take this opportunity, along with you fellow exceptional ex-mates, to express my deepest gratitude to the exceptional person also known as Dr. Tai Shulari, because without him, I won't be who I am today. Yeah. A round of applause for him. The exceptional experience of going through Mayflower School irrevocably changes who you are and his church Oga too. When I read some of his works, I believe, he also expressed how he was changed. He expressed some of those experiences in his memoir, The Story of the School. A few years later, after successfully establishing Mayflower School, he published the epitome of his experience in what I regard as a living testamentary document. May your road be rough, the one you just listened to. It is a proclamation or a message about the potential or possibility that lies in each one of us. It summons us to be courageous, determined, persistent, self-sufficient in our lives. It is a call to seek the full life that is only limited by how much we dare dream and an expectation of the peaks and valleys along the way. Through the proclamation of the "May your road be long, may your road be rough," may seem devoid of any act of selfless service to others. Dr. Charles Shulari's life was anything but a life of privatism. He served society selflessly till the end. So, in the great tradition of Dr. Tai Shulari and on this, our inaugural reunion celebration, I say to each one of you too, may your road be rough.
Same to you.
Okay. Now, on behalf of the Exceptional Persons Foundation Committee, which Sitira is also a part of, I announce the presentation of the Exceptional Persons Scroll to each fellow exceptional ex-mate today and friends that are with us on this day. Thank you. Simbo, please.
So-
Yeah, that. Some of the words you kind of pronounce it so she can help you with it.
Okay.
That's it. Maybe she can call it.
Okay, we will now call all the recipients of the certificates.
Somewhere if you can help. She'll look up before then, and then
Hi everyone, I don't have to introduce myself. You all know who I am, right? Okay, so the first certificate of exceptional person foundation incorporation goes to Simbo Adiashu. Where is the camera, please? Okay. So you have this.
Hold on. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next certificate of exceptional person foundation incorporation goes to Mr. Tayo Shokale. The next certificate of exceptions. We're still on the identity picture with you. Please come back. Hey. Thank you. Okay. The next certificate of exception person foundation incorporation goes to Nare Onobanjo. Next certificate, I don't have to read everything. We all know this is Exceptional Person Foundation Incorporation. So I'm just going to say certificate goes to Morufat Alowonyo Shodi. Morufat. I think she's not here. Okay. We can set it. Let's see. Are you sure? Maybe there is a mix-up somewhere. Okay, you can get it on behalf of your sister. Thank you. Okay. The next certificate goes to Chelly Okwola. Okay, congratulations. The next certificate goes to Tokumbo Akirimade Makoli. The next certificate goes to Yemisi Omoshebi Adegoke. Okay, the next one actually goes to me, but my name is not well spelled. But I would ask her to present it to me. Can you read this?
Okay, I'm gonna do my best here.
Try your best.
Yes. And as someone who has an African name, I will definitely do my best here.
You have to.
So, Sitrat. Night.
Next time, the Mayegun as a Nigerian has an I before the Y. Okay? Odion? Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Okay. Next certificate goes to Olusegun Adegoke. Welcome. Next one goes to Adejimi, Adeniji, but no nicknames tonight, okay? Where is Jimmy? Hello? Where is Jimmy? He's not here, okay? I think the wife is here. Can the wife receive on behalf of the husband? Okay, we can just leave it there. Thank you. The next certificate goes to Anoluwapo Ogunfowale. I know there is a name change somewhere. Olufowale, right? Okay. Next one goes to Patience Alekoye. The next certificate goes to Femi Opanubi. Okay, congratulations. Okay. Oh, thank you. Next one goes to Soji Oduwale. Congratulations. Okay. Congratulations. Wow. Next one is Yemisi Ojoshipe. Okay, the next certificate goes to Taufikat Alowole Oshodi. The next certificate goes to one of our hosts, Olumoyiwa Victor Gomez. Where is he? Felix?
Yes, they're waiting for something.
Okay, so we put this aside. Okay. The next certificate goes to Patrick Omori. The next certificate goes to Adegoroye. Who is going to receive on his behalf? No one. Okay, we can put it aside. Thank you. The next one goes to the man himself. Gege. Oh yeah! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. The next certificate goes to Lydia Abiola Adeleke. Okay. Congratulations. Show your certificate. That should be one there for her. Yeah. The next one goes to Kelly King. She's actually one of the board of trustees. Okay. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Congratulations. The next one goes to Sharon Paget. Mandisa Latifa Thomas. Congratulations. Okay. So we have one. The last one goes to Emmanuel Badehon. House. Oh, the man himself just walked in. Okay, give him a call. Oh, congratulations. Okay, so Mr. Olumiwa Victor Gomez just walked in. We would like to honor you for being one of the hosts. Thank you so very much, and this is also an opportunity to say a big thank you. You worked so hard to achieve this, and we truly appreciate you. Okay? Thank you. So, can we give him a big round of applause? Yay! Olumiwa Victor Gomez! Come right here! Come right here! Come right here! This is for you! Okay? Does he want to you? Okay, come on, wait. Oh, wait. Congratulations. So we go to the next stuff on the agenda, okay? So now I'll give it. So the next thing will be for us to have open floor remarks by X-Mays. Do you have anything special to say about Taisholari, your experiences, what you want people to learn from you? Just anything that would complement whatever she already told us and everything that we've seen about Oga. We used to call him Oga, and that means big boss. Okay, so the floor is open to everyone to just come up and say something. Okay? Yeah, why not? Just say hi. I mean, we say hi to you.
Good evening, esteemed colleagues. For me, I think my memory of Mayflower is resilience, always believing that you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it, hard work, and just believing that, if you put the extra. And I always remember the time Taisholari put a bucket of water when we were at the assembly, and he said, put your hand in it and then take your hand out. And that shows nobody is indispensable because you have not left any hole in that water. And that just stayed with me. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand over
Thank you very much for handing the baton to me. Good evening, everyone. As we fondly remember Oga today, I remember when I first attended Mayflower School, I was so timid. And Oga brought a lot out of me. Because, many of you will remember when we were in school, I don't talk. And I was a loner throughout my secondary education. I don't have friends. But still, I would like to share something with everyone. Academically, I wasn't that brilliant. Still, Taisholari had this strong belief in me. And that made me what I am today. I was on scholarship throughout my secondary education. I found that amazing. Some of my siblings attended Queen School. Name many of the best schools in Nigeria. They weren't accorded that respect. My parents actually appreciated that because we weren't a pauper. If you can raise 8 children in those days, because we paid for schools, paying school fees for more than 6 children in secondary boarding school at the time. I take my hat off for my parents, and I take my hat off for Taisholari. I'm going to end my speech today. Those of you, I'm so sorry if you don't understand Yoruba, because I'm going to sing in Yoruba. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn òbí mi o, tó ṣe kẹ́mi, tó ṣe kẹ́mi, tó tún ṣe ìtọ́jú mi. Àfọmọ́ àgbà ló ní àníhẹ̀ kí lẹ ṣe. Wow. Thank you all. Sorry, who is going to take the bathroom?
Good evening. What can I say? All being said, I believe in we call Oga Tashere. If everybody knows Oga. And the one thing I can say is that about my Oga, that I think he did he made a lot of difference in my life, because he always said we can become whatever we choose to be. So in school, I wasn't that brilliant, people know that. But I remember Oga would say, look, we can become whatever we choose to be. So after I traveled to the United States of America, I sat for my GED. And I passed it heavily. So my brother said, you are very brilliant. I said, I didn't know that. So he just said, go ahead and take the GED. So after taking the GED, I scored very high. Then I tendered the certificate to all the university, Columbia University, LIU, name of big university in the United States. I was giving admission to all of them in New York. I live in New York. So I attended Long Island University. From there, I played soccer for them with full scholarship. Probably if I was in Nigeria, maybe I wouldn't have had that opportunity. To tell you the truth, God did a great thing. And anywhere we go, we always exceed. That is the thing. Even where I worked, I've never seen a Mayflower student. Wherever they are, there's different in there. And they make big difference. So we need to keep that torch flying. I'm sorry. Torch flying. So I hope you guys hear me well. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving forward, I'm going to be the timekeeper, and whoever is speaking, 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
I will give you 2 minutes. Once I stand up, your time is up.
Well, my name is Tayo Shokale. Well, what can I say about Dr. Taishulari for the discipline that he instilled in us? I still remember when I was in Form 1. You know, the junior ones sleep on the top and the senior ones sleep at the bottom. And I woke up very late, I didn't make my bed, and Oga came around. And in his usual way, I got my sister on the spot. And he stuck with me. And even till today, when I wake up, I make my bed. That is one discipline that I got. And I always thank Dr. Shulari for that. Thank you.
You can become whatever you choose to be. No kings, no laws. There are slaves, for we believe that man is a potential doctor, lawyer, or crook, or dwarf, or giant, whichever he says is mine to be 1, 2, 3. We shall be giants, and therefore we shall work and work and work and work, even if we must. What our fingers to the bone. So baby, that's one thing I took away from Mayflower, and I passed it on to my children. They know it, they know that song. I thank God for the opportunity.
One thing I took away from Mayflower, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I know we have to run to that bathroom, down the central bathroom, right? And all of us have to take care of our business. Up to today, my wife tells my children, if your dad don't roll out of that bed at 5, he's dead. There's no way I can be on the bed by 5 a.m. It's not possible up to today. I just have to get out of bed and start disturbing everybody in the house. That is what I do. But that is a big discipline that has pretty much been my own way of life. And of course, to just continue to do whatever the good Lord plays on your part and just do it to the best of your knowledge. Yes. Because we can become whatever we choose to be. Thank you. I'm giving it to you, I'm giving it to Lydia.
You have to. That's
very short. You are used to that.
this one is a friend
and a friend forever. Happy Tuji?
Forever.
So, my name is Abiola Adeleke Adedayo. Not much change my surname. I appreciate Mayflower a lot from the academic pushing that I've got from there and the hard working. Like now, even my children and my husband, whenever I'm in the house, they say, "Oh, I'm on Mayflower." Even that's why I even started a farm. My husband say, "Okay, go and start a farm, should be on Mayflower." Yeah. And another thing that an habit I took, and my children know until now, is that I don't drop piece of paper on the floor. I don't litter. If you see my wallet or my bag, they are always full of rubbish. Because that's where I put everything. I don't put anything on the floor. If I want to, my husband will say, we are forgetting. I'm on Mayflower. We don't put it, we don't litter the floor. So that was another big lesson I got from there. So I really, I'm always proud to tell anybody. Even my husband is always proud to tell people that, oh, my wife went to Mayflower, my wife went to Mayflower. So I thank God for this reunion.
Let us like.
Okay, I learned a lot from Mayflower from Tai Sholari. My discipline comes from him. He really inspired me a lot, and I did pass it to my kids, and it shows in my work too. Most of the thing I remember is like how he would tell us, as you lay your bed, so you lie on it. And I let my children know that as they lay their bed, they will lie on it. I explained to them, I coached them, and I'm glad they took from that inspiration, and they are, growing, magnificently. And the other thing was, at my work, I am a nurse. I'm a regular nurse that works on the floor. So one time, I had a resident that was so messy, and I walked in, and I cleaned that resident up really good. So everybody was talking about it, and my director of nursing came and told me and said, Tao, I heard a lot about you. You cleaned that mess up. You could have called one of the nursing assistants to come and do it. And I said, you know what? A good leader must show leadership. Yes. And if I, can't do it, why will I have somebody else come and do it? And within a month, they promote me to be the building in charge. Because, you were pushed out. So I'm glad I went to Mayflower School.
The biggest thing I learned from my experience in Mayflower School did not happen when we saw did not my biggest experience and my biggest lessons did not happen while I was a student. They all happened after I had become a pseudo driver and PA to Dr. Tai Sholari. The things I never knew before became clear to me. As at the last count, for the period I was there, I realized that he had actually given scholarships to close to about 1,600 people.
Wow.
And there were some people he gave scholarships to who, after the secondary school, he sponsored, I know at least one whom he sponsored to study piloting. He paid everything. And after school, I know I actually took checks to 2 occasions where Dr. Sholari was going to open his ex-students' clinics. Making experience ticket of that check. So, and while we were in school,
because Dr. Taisho Lani had made a lot of international connections with non-profits and all that, he used the wherewithal that those connections would bring to sponsor people abroad. At least there were people in my class who went to London. And so essentially, charity, apart from everything else, charity was what I took away from Dr. Taisho Lani and what I learned from him. But one morning I woke up late. Ẹgbẹ́ kò ní kú, ìjọ́ tí mo di gba ẹ̀kọ́ nìyẹn, ẹgbẹ́ ò ní kẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀, mo ti sọ̀rọ̀ tán.
Give it to that person. Anybody you want.
Yeah, that's that. Maybe this is the last. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like to tell you something. One thing that I took out of Mayflower, and I'm still using it up till now. I may not have mentioned it to so many people, but it's inside me. One thing is that I've never gone to school with my money. I went to Bulgaria on scholarship. 10 out of Lagos State, I was one of them. To the US, 10 out of like thousands. I was one of the 10 people. I don't take no as an answer. And I'm after something. It's only they're not going to do that after that I will not get it. No, there's no. I don't take it as an answer. I have to get it out. Okay. That is one spirit that I took out of my class.
Okay, is there any one of us who would like to speak?
I think there's one thing that's been left out of I totally agree with everything that everyone has said, but there's one aspect that sticks with me, and it's the fact that Oga taught us to think freely, to be free thinkers. And also, in terms of religion, we knew Oga as an atheist, but he gave us the opportunity to go to church. I remember we had a chapel. I was, what was it, Pamelo? Reverend Mello. Yeah, and he gave us the freedom to be able to think freely and practice our faith as we saw fit. And it just stuck with me for a long time that this man, and he preferred to show his ways by what he did and how he lived his life. It was a wonderful example. Say that again? Oh, okay. It was a wonderful example, and he did some things that still sticks with me up until today. And I don't want to repeat what everybody have said, but waking up on time, I'm pretty much, what do you call it, a green thumb. In other words, I love planting, and it's based on the fact that I had the experience that I had in Mayflower. And that was where I learned to swim. And the other thing is that I believe that a lot of us had our immunity built up by going to that school because we drank. We drank from the river, and there was one day I went to Ikene, I went to the river that we will drink from. And I went to that river and I saw what people were doing into the river that flowed down. I'm not going to say it. That flowed down to us, and we end up putting in buckets and taking back to the hostel to drink. And we survived it. It's a wonderful thing. So I so much appreciate the experience of having gone to that school. And may God continually bless him and his lineage. And thank you, that's all I got.
So thank you everybody for joining us in this wonderful reunion. I need to mention this wouldn't have been possible today without the support of everybody here, but also my co-host, guys. Jimmy, please come. So this whole program was done by just the three of us. It was tough. It wasn't easy. Things were changing. He's mad at me, but I don't agree with him most of the time. So we try to work things out. But again, the most important thing, we got it done. So you guys, please show some appreciation. You've been the MC. Anything you want to?
I've been one on
So
toes.
just give us the toast and then let's start dancing.
Okay, thank you all so much for coming, for spending your money, your time, and everything. And we would like to thank everyone. The other thing that was mentioned was the fact that some of us became OCD because of the way Oga trained us. For me, every time I wake up, I have to make my bed before I do anything else. That has to be done. And I'm sure most of you are like that, right? So, but I know for our kids, it's something that is very difficult to do. So that's still, that sticks in my brain all the time. And there is a book that says the biggest thing in your room is your bed. And once you make it, your day is made. Forget it. You go to wherever you're going, you come back knowing that your bed is made and you're going to lay down peacefully. Thank you all so very much. So I guess it's now time for us to boogie down. But before we boogie down, we're going to take picture in that background. Everyone, come to the next phase.